This month on The Card Life, presented by Loupe.
I asked my wife, wouldn't it be cool if I could take all the commons in my closet and trade them for a Wagner? It got the wheels turning.
I love the rare stuff, the obscure stuff, and I've always been drawn to that.
It's really cool. It means a lot that something that I created and something that we did for the museum in Joe's name is resonating with people this way.
Welcome to The Card Life, presented by Loupe, the first television show dedicated to the sports card hobby. I'm your host, Matt Strahm. This month is all about the state of South Carolina. And this month, we truly do go across the state. We start in Conway with the story of one man's journey from factory worker to math teacher to the Baseball Hall of Fame, accomplished by creating jaw-dropping art from cut-up sports cards. We'll show you some of the incredible rare cards from the Mangini Collection in North Charleston and then head to the Shoeless Joe Jackson Baseball Museum, where a card art set is raising money for a great cause. We also open some boxes of 2021 Topps Tribute with our friends at Pristine Auction. Tim Carroll of Conway, South Carolina, loved to draw growing up, going to junior college for graphic design. After working in a factory and in the middle of getting a degree to be a teacher, a trip with his wife to New Orleans changed everything.
We had been looking at artwork all day in the French Quarter on Decatur, and it was all different kinds of just weird artwork, body paintings and different kinds of folk art. Heading back to the hotel, I stopped in at a 7-Eleven, picked up a magazine and saw a little blurb about the 100th anniversary of the T206 Wagner. So I asked my wife, wouldn't it be cool if I could take all the commons in my closet and trade them for a Wagner? It got the wheels turning, got back home, pulled them out of the closet and started cutting. Made this crude, ugly, hideous, honest Wagner and posted it online as a joke of, hey, I traded all my commons for a Wagner. Next thing you know, I had people asking for me to do this player and that player and this card, and I was not expecting the response I got. I started teaching shortly after I created my first piece, so it was kind of like I started both at the same time. And as time went on, I was doing the artwork on the side as supplemental income. The wait list had been backed up for a while. The prices had, climbed. I was taking the artwork a lot more serious, spending a lot of time on weekends and nights. But there was an opportunity that came up in October of 2016 that allowed me to step away from the classroom and just give it a shot. And it's been something crazy. I haven't looked back. So I know on this 59 Topps mantle, I have some darker areas in the back here, and I'm also going to be pulling any kind of portraits. So I'm just looking for, skin tones, larger sections, something like Greg Harris there now. He's something I can use. 87 Topps is always a great set because I'm able to just use the backgrounds, the sky, the grass, the jerseys, the face. Kelly Downs, Kelly is used in a lot of my work. So, I've been asked before, do you think it's okay to just keep cutting cards and keep cutting them? Well, no one is going to be pulling out Kelly Downs cards and using them except for, me.
A majority of the time required to create each piece is invested before a single cut card is placed on the canvas.
Pulling the right cards, spending time getting the right sets, to make sure that the card colors are closer matched than what I did with my first few that I made. But most of the time is really spent on the under drawings itself, just to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. I'm a former math teacher, so I use a lot of math, a lot of grid work, use the grid process, and I start sketching whatever's in quadrant 1, I draw that 2, 3, and then sketch it out. And then it's more along the lines of seeing things in shapes. So, if you see a big highlight here across the cheek, I'll just kind of circle that out as this needs to be something that I need to really change that tone there. No embellishing. I don't use any kind of markers or paint or anything. Everything is kind of like all natural, you know, coming from the cards. It's how they came out of the packs. In some cases, it's not just a set itself, but it's an actual card. Like I created a 1908 rose postcard of Walter Johnson, and the green in the background I knew was going to be a challenge to try to get that green. Going through the 87 top set, Donnie Moore, the green grass of the background, that particular card is what I used. So I used probably 120 to 140 just Donnie Moore cards just for some of the green in the background.
Tim has created commissioned pieces for former players like Omar Vizquel, Andre Dawson, and Joe Torre. His work also earned him a spot in a sacred place where he could have never imagined it would take him.
I couldn't throw a ball through a pane of glass in high school, but I was left-handed, so I got to pitch. And and I knew I wasn't ever going to make it playing past high school, even though that would have been really cool. So getting in the Hall of Fame as a baseball player, that was never going to happen. A couple of years ago, I get an email out of the blue saying that there was this new wing that was going to be opening up in the Hall of Fame devoted to baseball cards. And they were going to have one wall that was devoted to artwork created or inspired by cards itself. And they said, we would love to have a piece of your art be, you know, on that wall. And yeah, I couldn't reply with yes and thank you and fast enough. And so my 1955 Topps Sandy Koufax now hangs at the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. I still can't believe it. It's therapeutic. And I get to just, you know, flip something on as background noise, and I sit and I work. And I was completely content with teaching, completely content with everything and the way my life was. I was very happy. I didn't even realize it could change so drastically and still make me just as happy, but it has, and I love it. I wouldn't change a thing.
Up next, a remarkable collection in South Carolina that includes some rare cards you've likely never seen before.
Why bother with empty shelves at retail stores, waiting 3 days for a break to fill, or driving across town to find out your hobby shop closed at 4 when you always have a card show in your pocket? With Loupe, you can instantly buy cards, packs, boxes, or into auctions with the click of a button, and do it all while chatting with some of the best personalities and the best community in the hobby. Download the Loupe app now on iOS or Android. Loupe, a card show in your pocket.
Loupe is proud to be the presenting sponsor of The Card Life. Here are some of the best break hits from the last month.
Oh man, Julio Rodriguez, 1/1 Superfractor. Wow. Tom Brady to 25. Wow. On card, Tom Brady.
Join the Loupe community now by downloading the app on iOS or Android. Loupe, a card show in your pocket.
Welcome back to The Card Life, presented by Loupe.
North Charleston's John Mangini is equal parts card collector, card historian, and sports historian.
So this is a 1926 Spalding Babe Ruth. You turn these cards in and you got a coupon to buy sporting goods, and that's why these cards are so rare.
His Mangini collection includes some of the rarest cards in the world, and he loves to share the untold story behind each one.
This, I believe, is the rarest Satchel Paige card. And although it is after his playing days, this is a 1962 Pittsburgh exhibit. These were given away at Kennywood Park, and they are amongst the rarest cards in the hobby. This is a card I recently picked up, and this is from Roberto Clemente's personal collection. His family auctioned a few of these off, and I was lucky enough to snag one. My mother started buying me cards at a very young age. She claims she started buying them for me when I was 2 years old. And I was a baseball fanatic for as long as I could remember. I would just buy any baseball book I could get my hands on, and I just loved cards. We had a flea market, and they would sell cards there, and I would walk a mile through the woods with my friends. And my friends would buy up, Steve Garvey and those kinds of players, and I was buying up, Hank Aaron and Mickey Mantle and those kinds of players. And I ended up with a very large vintage collection before I was even in junior high school. Now, most collectors are familiar with the Post serial cards from the early 60s. Well, some of them were issued in Life magazine. This is an original Life magazine that had promo cards featuring Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris. When you see all the magazines and the auctions, it's like the same 50 big iconic cards. I love the rare stuff, the obscure stuff, and I've always been drawn to that. This is one of the rarest things in the hobby, and it's very unique in that the package of the candy is the card. This is Jimmy Fox. These are near impossible to find, and especially in full form like this. And grading goes out the window with these because they're always going to be cut open to get the candy out, and you can see that whoever collected this must have been a baseball fan and probably a collector because he barely touched it. I like to have the original packaging or anything related to it because it's really the historical part of baseball and cards that really get my juices flowing. This is an original package for Little Recruit cigars. And this is what the T207s came in, also known as the brown background. The T207 is, more scarce than the T206 and the other cards of that era. I have a Facebook page where I wanted to put my cards on there and share them and kind of make albums of everything. And one day I threw a couple of videos onto YouTube that I had used on my Facebook page just as an afterthought. I did not even realize there was a YouTube card collecting community. It is just an unbelievable experience. The collections that you see on there and the amazing friendships you make. But there are so many great people. So this is a Type 1 photo of Hack Wilson. So a Type 1 photo is a photo that is produced during the time period. So a Type 1 is the original photo. But this is the image that was used to make his 1933 Gaudy card. Hey Matt, I won't trade you for any of my prized baseball cards, but I will trade you for your hair.
PristineAuction.com. It's baseball stuff, it's basketball, it's wrestling, it's Marvel stuff.
Tatis, Patrick Mahomes, Wayne Gretzky, LeBron James, autographed Nike Adidas jersey, Mookie Betts, Muhammad Ali.
Personal favorite thing on the site are the 10-minute auctions. You can bid on the item for only 10 minutes. Highest bidder wins.
It's free to register, free to bid. Sign up today, PristineAuction.com.
Pristine Auction is a proud sponsor of The Card Life. Head over to PristineAuction.com where over 10,000 sports card auctions end every week. More from South Carolina in a minute. But first, let's rip into some cards with Jared Kavli at Pristine Auction.
Here at Pristine Auctions today with Jared, and we got a few boxes of Topps Tribute here 2021. So I'm looking for Cronenworth. You got any particular prospects or just
all the good ones? All
the good ones?
Yeah, right, all the real expensive ones.
The 101 cards, those are the ones you're looking for. So,
I'm thinking possible Jeter stuff out of here. He's on the cover, so I'm thinking maybe Jeter autos.
I mean, that would be
Jeter relics, things like that.
That'd be sick.
That's what I'm going for.
He's got a cool auto. Can I start us off this time?
Yeah.
All right. 6 packs, 3 cards per pack. I believe you're guaranteed 1 auto.
See, this is a full sealed case too.
Okay, so we're getting into the whole case.
Those are good looking cards.
Oh yeah, they're awesome. And then this is the patches I was talking about. Ooh, numbered to 10. 10 of 10. Josh Bell with the game worn. This looks like one of our military jerseys, the green. So that is really cool. That's you go to the MLB website, type in the number, and it'll tell us exactly what that is. And we got a dual patch Wilson Contreras to 99. And that's a good rookie. Tyler Stevenson. Ooh, and it's numbered to 150. Very nice. All right, let's see what this metal thing is. Got Ty Cobb, Roger Clemens, and that's an Angel. That's kind of cool. Could that be Mike Trout? Joe Adele to 50. That's really cool. That's really good.
I know he's good. Oh, and there is a printing plate.
Nate
Printing plate.
Pearson. That is really cool. 101. Hey, you were looking for all the 101s. We got one. That is sick. He's a big time arm. This dude throws it 101 miles an hour.
Clemens. Oh, that's pretty
a
cool.
really cool
Out of
auto.
10. He's got a beautiful
sick.
autograph.
That's
sweet. Nice. Look at the like multi-layers.
Oh yeah.
Nice
that is
card.
a sick hit.
Casey
Good.
Mice,
It's a good
rookie
rookie.
auto, numbered out of 150.
There you go. We actually played a charity poker tournament, and 8 players played in it, and whoever finished first in the players won an autograph, Tony Gwynbat.
Oh, no way. That's cool.
I took second, unfortunately.
Who was it? Yelich? Ooh, nice. Yelich
Very
autograph
nice.
out of
On
50.
card, too. That's sick.
Out of 60.
That is sick.
These are nice looking cards.
Oh, yeah. Hey, another Stevenson. Numbered to 199, along with Gleyber Torres.
What was your other one numbered out of?
150,
Oh,
I believe. Yep.
going for the rainbow.
Got to get it now, I guess, right? Mike Yastrzemski. That's kind of cool, too. So I collect everyone who's hit a home run off me.
Really?
I try to get a card of
Pretty small collection then.
Yeah, it's not very big yet. So, but I try to get on-card autos, and I don't have one of him yet.
There you
so
go.
That's
Pretty cool. He's pretty solid player, huh?
Oh yeah, he's really good.
Ooh.
Wow,
Nice.
Brooks Robinson. That is sick. That dude's got a nice auto too.
David. Ooh, that's nice.
that
David
is
Ortiz relic auto. What is that relic?
That's the green monster, dude.
Really?
Yeah, that's part of the wall.
It's got an MLB sticker on it.
So I bet it'll tell you what part of the wall or what they replaced or something.
That's a cool card.
That is really cool. Green monster wall graphs. That is sick.
Not
Sick.
bad.
No, those cards are
We had a
awesome.
good
though.
time.
Very good time. Very good time.
Check out Pristine Auction's 10-minute auctions and daily auctions with no reserve at pristineauction.com.
Why bother with empty shelves at retail stores, waiting 3 days for a break to fill, or driving across town to find out your hobby shop closed at 4 when you always have a card show in your pocket? With Loupe, you can instantly buy cards, packs, boxes, or into auctions with the click of a button, and do it all while chatting with some of the best personalities and the best community in the hobby. Download the Loupe app now on iOS or Android. Loupe, a card show in your pocket.
Tired of paying 10%, 15%, or more to sell your cards, comics, and digital collectibles? How does 1% sound? Too good to be true? Well, not anymore. MySlabs.com is the web's premier user-driven marketplace for buying and selling slabbed cards, sealed wax, and now, slabbed comics and digital collectibles. So the next time you're forced to pay 10% or more to sell something from your collection, head over to MySlabs.com and join the 1% revolution.
Joseph Jefferson Jackson was raised in Greenville, South Carolina. He played 12 seasons in Major League Baseball and still holds the 3rd highest career batting average in history, more than 100 years after his career ended. His final home in Greenville before his death in 1951 is now the home of the Shoeless Joe Jackson Museum and Baseball Library. The library part is an important tie to Jackson's life. Because he started working at a cotton mill at the age of 6, Joe never had the opportunity to go to school or even learn to read or write. In 2020, museum executive director Dan Wallach came up with an idea to help raise funds for the museum's literacy efforts.
I follow a lot of card artists on Twitter and see these guys and girls posting the creations that they've made, and they're just incredible. And I've always loved baseball cards from the time I was a little kid. I mean, that's how I fell in love with the game, and I figured, what better way to promote Joe Jackson and get his name out there with this current generation of fans who don't necessarily buy complete sets, but kind of go after their favorite artists. And let's see if I can hook up with a handful of them and make a set that's just about Joe. I knew that this image on the front of the box was gonna be our box cover. I've always loved this photo of Joe. He's holding, 2 trophies. The big trophy he won in a throwing contest in 1917, where he threw a baseball 396 feet 8 inches on the fly and threw a ball further than anybody else at that contest. I've always loved this picture of Joe. It shows him as a champion. And so with the marble background of that photo, I told Mike Modelise, who designed the box for us, what if we make the backgrounds of the cards have that marbled background as well? I knew I had a couple key names, and then once I had those names, I just reached out to a couple other artists, and I was like, hey, this person's already on board. What do you say? And it was snowball from there. This card is one of my favorites. Mitchell Ransdell, the Southside Sharpie, or Sox sketcher. He makes sketches and drawings of White Sox players with Sharpies. I asked him if he wanted to participate. I thought he was gonna give me a Sharpie sketch, and he came up with this and just blew me away. The idea of the set was kind of gonna model the 1959 Fleer Ted Williams set that was gonna be like a, take you through his life story and talk about his career. So I knew we needed to hit certain chronological points throughout Joe's life with certain photos, and then just hoped that the artist picked appropriately, and they did. So I lucked out with that, and then it was just a matter of creating the story. And the top half of the card talks about the artist who made the front, and the bottom half is the continued narrative. So when you read card 1 all the way through card 20, it gives you Joe's life story and talks about his career. So this card is by Payne Profit, a world-class artist, and the fact that he's in this set is insane to me. He also sent the museum the original painting that he made that turned into this card. The whole point of this set is to promote literacy. Joe's illiterate, and so one of our missions at the museum, which is officially called the Shoeless Joe Jackson Museum and Baseball Library, is to promote literacy. And we started this little free library adjacent project where we have these community book boxes, and we're trying to place them in locations that are either relevant to Joe's life and career, whether he played baseball at a field or owned a home on a property or had a business someplace, and we're trying to place the boxes there. But we're also open to putting them anywhere. But anyways, the proceeds from the sale of these cards go towards furthering our literacy project. It's really cool. It means a lot that something that I created and something that we did for the museum in Joe's name is resonating with people this way.
Oh my goodness, that is a Tom Brady autograph. Oh my, 1 of 1 diamond LaMelo Ball rookie. That's a hit. Wow, that's a big card, guys. Oh, quarterback, Joey Burrow. Yes, please, out of the first box. Oh, sick. Mike Trout, on-card autograph, 9.5, autograph grade 10.
We love highlighting local card shops across the country on The Card Life. Now Loupe, Topps, and Blowout Cards are searching for America's best card shop in a 4-month competition celebrating LCSs. Collectors can submit their favorite shop through April 30th, then a panel of celebrity judges from across the hobby will pick 4 finalists. An open vote will determine the winner, which will be announced at the National in July and receive a package worth over $50,000. We'll follow the search in the coming months right here on The Card Life.
That's it for this month. Next month, we have a special episode for our Season 1 finale. Until then, I'm Matt Strahm, and we'll see you next time on The Card Life, presented by Loupe.